Hi, welcome along to the Boostly podcast, the podcast that gives you the tools, the tactics, the training, and most importantly, the confidence to go out there and get more direct bookings. We're usually talking all about direct bookings, but today we're actually shining the Boostly spotlight on something a bit different. This is for our US hosts. It's a software which sits behind your business, and it's a really important one. It's one which gives you everything you need to make your rental finances easy. Best of all, it is free. So let me introduce Saad, the head of business development, and Thorben, the co-founder at Baselane. And I'm excited to dive into this. And thanks for joining me, guys. Shall we introduce, if we go to Thorben, first of all, if you introduce yourself, where you are in the world, and anything you'd like to share?
Yeah. Hey, Liam. Thanks so much for having us on the show. I'm calling from New York today. Baselane is based in New York. So thank you for having us. I'm one of the co-founders, as you mentioned, of Baselane. Started the company about 3 years ago now, and really the company and the idea for the company, which we'll talk about today, it came from my own experience being an Airbnb host, being a landlord myself, had a lot of financial pain points, and prior to starting Baselane, spent most of my career working in financial services and tech, and really just saw an opportunity to streamline this and really make managing your finances easier as a landlord.
Nice. And if we move across to Saad.
Yes, Liam, thank you for having me. I'm originally from New York and recently moved to Atlanta. So I'm actually now in the south of the United States. And my background is actually in accounting and finance and strategy consulting. And I'm also a real estate investor. So that's a passion of mine. And I've been investing for the last 5 years, own about 20 units right now with a mix of long-term and short-term rentals. So dabble in a bit of both. And for me, I think like I was extremely frustrated with the lack of technology and just tools that were out there. And I got lucky. I got introduced to Thorben through a friend of ours. And he told me that they were starting this company and they were going to help solve all these problems that I had as an owner and investor. So yeah, I decided to hop on board and really help build the platform that I need to run my own business.
What is Baselane?
Yeah, absolutely. I can take that one. So, really what Baselane is Baselane is the number one and the all-in-one banking platform for real estate investors, for landlords, for hosts. And we really help you streamline and simplify your finances, whether you're a host or a landlord focusing on short-term and mid-term rentals or long-term rentals. And I can tell you a little bit about kind of how the idea came about. It really came from my own journey as a host. I have multiple Airbnb properties. And basically the way that I was running that was, I kind of got into it kind of casually. It was, I just started actually renting the apartment I was living in. Then from there, I kind of expanded and got made a few more investments and had kind of a small portfolio of Airbnbs. And I was really focused on, as I think a lot of kind of hosts or people also in the hospitality space, you're focused on running your business, you're focused on managing the property, getting great guests. And that was kind of the part of the business that was fun that I wanted to focus on. But then I also had to do the whole financial management of it, right? So, if you're an Airbnb host, you know how it works. You have your rent basically coming in from Airbnb into the platform. And then especially in the US, there's all kinds of kind of tax tracking that you have to do for the deductions. You gotta, all these expenses, your mortgage, your cleaners, the people, if you're using a property manager, all of that becomes deductible at the end of the year. And essentially for me, the way I was running this was I had just the rent coming into my bank account, and then I was kind of manually tracking all of these expenses. And at the end of the year, I would have this mess at tax time, and it would just be this massive pain to deal with, to actually figure out like what were my deductions, what were my taxes. And the other thing I kind of realized pretty quickly was, while I liked running the Airbnb business, I never really knew where I stood from a cash flow perspective. So that's kind of where I said to myself, like, is this thing really profitable? Is it growing? Is it going the right direction? I said, there's going to be a better way to manage the finances here. And prior to starting Baselane, I spent most of my career working in financial services, working in tech, in particular, kind of working with large banks to launch new digital financial products. And basically myself and my partner, we said, look, there's got to be a better way to build this. And then we really started Baselane to simplify and put all in one place a banking platform for the financial management of real estate properties to basically help landlords, help hosts save time, save money, and increase returns. So yeah, excited to dive into the details of actually how exactly that banking platform works today.
Can you give us more idea of what is the actual sort of core of the product, and how does it help the hosts or the real estate sort of owners?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Thorben hit on this. So just to kind of summarize how we think about building products, it's giving you back time, but also financial peace of mind. And the other thing is like management of expenses, so you can actually reduce and optimize your expenses. So we think about those three things when we're building our product. So what we offer today, our core is a business checking account with an unlimited amount of virtual accounts, virtual cards. And we can talk a little bit more about what those products are because they're new to this space. And we offer, no fees, no minimums, free wires, ACH transfers. A lot of really cool features that allow you as an owner to get better organized, but also earn some rewards for that. A traditional incumbent bank won't offer that.
Why is all this free? Why is it free? Why is there not a monthly charge?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a very common question that we get. And I can absolutely speak to that. And really, Liam, I think you nailed the value prop. It is like what fundamentally we're trying to achieve is to automate your finances and put the finances in the background so that you can focus on what matters for running your business. So now, why is that free? It's, Baselane is a banking platform. So the way that we make money is the way that, banks make money. Our customers hold their balances with us. Those balances get held in a fully FDIC insured account with our partner bank. And we are earning what's called kind of net interest revenue off that. So the vast majority of the interest is actually shared back with the customers. We pay very high APYs across the board, much higher than any kind of regular bank or even the large banks in the US. And we keep a small margin on that interest revenue. We also, as Saad kind of mentioned, we have a debit card spend platform. So on Baselane, you can issue both physical debit cards that you can use to run your business. You can also issue unlimited virtual debit cards. And as Saad mentioned, you can issue those to your property managers, to your partners, people you work with. You can use them to pay your utility bills, et cetera. And really the unlock there is you can get really granular and have a lot of spend control and spend management across your business with these dedicated kind of virtual cards in the spend management platform. And the way that the kind of card systems work in the US, when you spend money on Baselane debit cards, the merchants actually pay a fee for that, as with kind of any Visa or MasterCard. So we earn a part of that fee as well. So again, it's not paid by the customer, but we're making revenue off that. And then the other component is really with kind of all of the kind of engagement that we have from our users on the platform. Really, we're aiming to help users not just save time, but also save money. Now, if you think of like the big expenses for real estate investors, in that category, there's also insurance. The majority of real estate investors need some form of rental property insurance, as well as financing and lending products. So we also have partners on the insurance side, partners on the lending side that we work with to actually help optimize those financial products for the landlords and the investors on our platform. And if you go and you purchase an insurance policy through Baselane, then we also earn a commission on that. So all of the revenue, it's transactional revenue, and that enables us to provide the platform for free, just like banks are typically kind of free as well, with the difference that we don't actually charge any of these hidden fees.
Looking back, obviously you've gone through this problem yourself, then you've developed this product, which is then launched. But what's been the biggest challenge? And then we'll flip up and ask what the biggest win has been for you, and what did you learn? How did you handle it?
Yeah, we started the company as I mentioned 3 years ago. As I think in any startup journey, there's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of learning that happens, a lot of iteration. I think that the biggest challenge for us is always, in a way, it's the biggest challenge. It's the biggest opportunities. Our product roadmap with the vision of what we have, what we want to build, the value that we want to provide for our customers, for our users. There's a lot to build, and sometimes the biggest challenge is just understanding and prioritizing of all of those things that I can build. Where do I start? What is the most important? What's going to provide the most value today, in the near future? And then what are the things that kind of further out we're building? So I think that the biggest challenge, and this is where we spend a lot of time as a team, is really prioritizing and focusing on where we're adding customer value. And that's a challenge because it's hard to do, but it's also the opportunity, because if you do it properly and you do it well, you're really unlocking a lot of user value and a lot of user delight, which is the ultimate goal is make people's life easier, save time, save money, and ultimately enable investors and hosts and landlords to grow their business and not worry as much about the finances.
Having a blast, gonna get it on the Boostly podcast. Boostly like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely.